So today is a beautiful Saturday morning, and I just have a few thoughts before I get into the nitty gritty of this podcast, which is called Get the Damn Manicure. Everything that I and we have done so far in our life, it's not dysfunction, it's survival. That being said, I believe it's time for us to dissolve that guilt and the shame that was the mechanisms that we used to survive that phase of time. Whatever that means for us personally, it's each person can take that as they need to. It was perfectly executed at that moment that we needed it. Some of us, or many of us, feel that spending our last dollar on someone else and continuing to be what others may call a martyr in life is somehow a badge of honor. But what is it really? I think it's what people call people-pleasing behavior. I don't know what you would personally call it for yourself, but for me, working relentless hours and 2 to 4 jobs at a time because I had the idea, or it was who I was, perhaps, to have extra just in case someone needed it. And when they needed it, I never thought twice about handing it over for whatever and to whoever that needed it. But when it came to myself, I was on the back burner. Does that sound familiar to you? Someone once said to me, "You are so generous, it's actually painful to watch." But then on the other side of it, I was upset because people didn't appreciate my generosity and how much stress I went through to support and be there for them. But then I realized, how could they know that I was putting myself out, running myself so thin? But what I realized is that I just did it because I was cycling through the behaviors of growing up in trauma. Maybe you hear yourself in that. Not sure. Just suggesting we take a breath and maybe sit back a bit. I believe part of my survival mechanism, perhaps yours, is this need to dissolve the guilt and shame and the understanding that we did the best we could at the moment with what we knew. It was all trauma responses. And I want you to sit with that for a moment. Pause the podcast. Think about the things that you've been through and what you did in those situations. Was it a people-pleasing behavior? Was it because you wanted them to continue liking you or loving you or being your friend? Was it a trauma response? Really sit with it. Not just, oh, that's who I am. We are never just who we think we are. We are the product of other people until we realize that that is absolutely not who we are. And it takes a lot of sitting in quiet, going deep inside yourself. When you can go deep and your deep calls to deep, you will absolutely find the rumblings of the real you. For me, when I sat back and thought about the cycles of behavior that I've been through, it was all the things I witnessed from those who came before me. Today I'm talking about this because I was taking an early morning coffee and saying, I'm going to get my nails done. So I pull up to my favorite nail salon and I sit there and I feel rushing, like I'm stressed, which is absolutely normal for me, but I have actually been able to squash that a lot in the last year. But then the thought came to my head, this is going to cost me like $45. This is crazy. I might need that money in my account, might have a bill going through, on and on and on. But of course the thought came, what if someone needs something? Listen now. I'm not sure if this is your story, but it's certainly mine. I've lived in and cycle through my adult life in a sense of guilt and shame and never feeling enough. And to this day, I still have people bordering on that, just letting me know I'm not good enough. And at times, I actually absorb that and feel bad about myself. And then I say, that has absolutely nothing to do with me. I don't care what position they're in or where they come from or if they're manager of a store or a business, whatever. That's not about me. That's their need to bully, harass, and feel bigger than you. What little people they are, right? So sitting in that nail salon, it dawned on me that I have never literally sat there and enjoyed that moment. I'm so self-trained to rush and have my phone out and always be checking messages that aren't coming. I'm just checking in case. But the trauma in my household as a child, always to be the good girl, the smart girl, always go above and beyond to make sure that everybody else was okay. After my father had one of his violent outbursts, to do my best to lighten the mood and make people laugh and love and be happy again. That's a hell of a heavy load for a child to carry. Nobody really knows who you are except you. And you need to take the moments that you have so well earned to go deep and call to your deep and see what you hear and feel. And really, you need to know. So, throughout my life, I have had quite a few years of total self-indulgence and selfishness to the point of stupidity and obnoxiousness. After that phase, I went through the last 10 or 12 years of my life, maybe 15, of just working myself, exhausted and staggering, shattered right down through my soul and my bones to make sure that I had enough money in case others needed something. This went right across the board to trans-global relationships and helping people with bills when they got themselves into problems or hard times. I truly just never realized what I was doing while I was doing it. But while I was sitting today in my little 40 minutes of heaven getting my nails done, I thought to myself, I am going to sit in this chair and I am going to enjoy this because I really never have. Have you? Have you gone get a pedicure and put the stupid phone down? And maybe just closed your eyes and sat back and put that massage chair on and listened to the hum of life around you? Most of us never have. I never have. I've sat through most manicures or pedicures, rushing with this intense feeling of energy of hurry up, just get it done because I have something to do, somewhere to be, or someone might call or message me and I'll have to rush out. Are you feeling me? Are you hearing me? Are you hearing yourself in this? I realized that even though it was terrifying over the last year, maybe 6 months, I have literally forced myself to pay attention to what was making me physically and emotionally ill. And one of those things was a job. Well, not the job, the manager, the new manager who was hired, who had absolutely no humbleness or, yeah, she had no humbleness about her, nor did she do anything to make the people who were under her management to feel safe, honored, seen, respected. The whole team basically is gone now, but she still stays. And even though many reports have been made on her, she still stays. I quit that job because I literally ended up in the hospital from the stress. There was just a part of me, maybe yourself, I just didn't want to see it. So I found myself in these crazy avoidance tactics. Think about how busy we need to keep ourselves. Are you able to have silence in your home while you're resting? Perhaps, do you rest? Able to close your eyes for 5 minutes? Are you able to write one journal entry a day? 3 minutes. Are you able to do meditation on YouTube? On the YouTube subject, I pay for the premium every month only because I do the meditations and I love them. And just to be totally upfront with you, I don't get paid anything from YouTube by saying that. It's for myself, for my own heart and soul, and my own peace of mind in my life. I have finally started to find peace in my life. I had to take very strict steps to be okay with not rushing, to not being on a clock or being late for something. God forbid I was late for something. I've held myself to such a high standard in a work ethic, reliability, or my ability to support and help, whether that meant emotionally or financially, that I've burnt myself out at different times in my life. So I'm thinking as I'm talking, the possibility of me being late for something made me literally sick to my stomach. I held myself to such a high standard in everything. Let me just give you a few symptoms of how my ability to help, no matter what that meant emotionally or financially, and how it burnt me out. So some of the symptoms I had was headaches, stomach aches, IBS, a hard time to catch my breath, confusion, forgetfulness, and so many more. If you feel any of those, please take some time out for yourself. So this morning, getting back to my manicure, when I sat there and allowed the lady to do it, I forced myself to sit and take a deep breath. I forced myself to close my eyes, if even for just a moment, to focus on where I was and how proud I was of myself in that moment. I literally forced myself to not think about the 45 measly dollars that it was going to cost me, but more the 40 minutes of my time that I finally was able to enjoy just for myself. It's taken me 58 years to get to this point. That's why I'm doing this podcast. Doing it because I don't want you to be 58 years old, exhausted, burnt out, unvalued, feeling hopeless and worthless, frazzled and burnt out, and exhausted to the point that when you get to bed, you either cannot sleep because you're mulling over garbage that you can't do anything about, or because it's someone else's, perhaps. Or maybe you're just so exhausted that you black out, go right to sleep, but then you wake up the same way. You feel like crap when you wake up. If this sounds like you, please share in the comments how you're feeling, or if you've been through the same thing. What did you do to help and support yourself? And if you had to do things, literally do the things I did to pull myself out of my mind and into my life, into present moments in time. When I was able to sit there and have a manicure today and be proud of myself, that I was doing this for me, and that $45 will replenish itself. That's what I work for. That's what we all work for, to have the money to do the things that bring us joy. But then when I realized that I was working crazy to have the money for people, for their things, not even for my own. But what are you doing for yourself? Are you overworking that you can't even enjoy the damn manicure? Just some thoughts today. I absolutely believe that people really don't know us. We know us. And when we allow ourselves to sit back and take a moment, close our eyes, just breathe. Give something back to your body. Give something back to you. Give something back to your life that you've given to everyone else without a second thought. How about we do that? How about we grab a coffee and people watch for a little while? Put the damn phone down. Lower our tone in our voice. Are you always high pitched? Are you always on your phone? I mean, most of us are not CEOs of companies where we have to always be on our phone. People can wait for your answer. We have been so socialized to know that sometimes people don't answer for 5 minutes or 5 hours or 5 days. I don't get all stressed out about things anymore. Unless, of course, I just want to bug my kids, but that's a whole different story. So tell me, are you going to allow yourself to have the damn manicure and put the damn phone down? Turn your ringer off for a little while. Get on YouTube Premium. Spend the $15 a month on yourself. Get some good earphones. Like the big cushion ones that drowned out noise. And tell people I'm turning off for 30 minutes. Do it. You deserve it. You're worth it. You're beautiful and amazing. For Christ's sake, most of us brought human beings onto this planet. We might not be gods, but we are certainly special and important. And once we start seeing ourselves that way, as we should, it's going to change your life. Please share with us in the comments what you liked best about this podcast. And if you're feeling it, if you have felt or are now in the midst of doing things because you've recognized you've been just doing things for so long, for so many people. Isn't it crazy? Please, just go have the damn manicure and do it in peace. I want you to start living your dream. And whatever that means for you, you are worth it. You deserve it. And you have earned it. Nothing but love. Shirley.